There's no better way to start off the morning when you're on vacation than hitting the fresh, hot, Krispy Kreme donuts. And fortunately, I'm the only one here, but my kids are gonna go nuts when they realize I hooked them up with breakfast. Then we're gonna get on the road and get back to reality, but we're gonna start it off the right way. Coffee and donuts. Let's be 100% transparent. I had zero intention of creating a video this morning. In fact, I had zero intention of creating a video yesterday, but I wanted to share some fun topics that came up throughout my vacation and maybe change the trajectory of some of the conversations that we're having here on this channel. Of course, I'm committed to telling you the truth and giving you the most actionable information so that you can make the best decisions for yourself, for your family, and for your financial bottom line. However, I have been in a pretty narrow lane of doing deep data dives, and while I know there is an audience of folks who is very appreciative for that information, I get many phone calls from many people from around the country and around the world that then want to hire me to help advocate and support and negotiate for them in their real estate transactions, which is something that I am extremely appreciative of. But I've learned that if I stay in that narrow lane and don't expand and don't talk about other things and don't grow and evolve, well, then chances are my channel will stay small. And it's not that I'm looking to grow a massive channel or anything like that, although that would be nice. I actually, in my last video from yesterday, mentioned how we ran into the Peachy Babies, creators, founders, workers, employees, or perhaps it's just the talent that works their YouTube channel. But I only shared that because it was clear that there was a subset of folks, especially in Disney World, that recognized them. They were celebrities, or they are celebrities to those people who know them. And I will tell you, I don't want that level of attention when I go places. I honestly don't. However, I do want to serve and support as many people as I possibly can, as many families as I possibly can, as many retirees as I possibly can, as many seniors as I possibly can, as many first-time home buyers that I possibly can. I want to help everyone that requires a true real estate professional that understands the markets to help them get what they want and get them the best deal. But that rant is over. This is not really going to be a deep dive into any of those things. What I noticed this morning, and I just left Krispy Kreme donuts, and I'm celebrating here a little bit because I just finished the 75 Hard year-long program, which is Live Hard. I just finished that year, and it's the second year that I've completed the program. So I'm celebrating a little bit. I'm making some different dietary choices for breakfast, up to and including a dozen Krispy Kreme donuts, which I'm not going to eat all of them. I'm going to bring them to my family and make sure that they all get diabetes and become morbidly obese and never qualify for the Victoria's Secret runway show or catalog. And yeah, I'm kidding. Nonetheless, if you caught last night's video, you understand the reference and the joke, and if not, then swing and a miss. But the reason I'm making this video, I'm in Krispy Kreme. It's early. I'm the only person in there, and I'm watching them make the donuts, and they're coming off the assembly line. They're hot. They're fresh. They look delicious. I haven't tried one yet, but I was the only customer in the store. There were probably 4 or 5 folks that were working in the store. Oh, there goes number 2. This is the second customer, I suspect, of the day for Krispy Kreme donuts. So if you're out there, and I don't even remember, at this point, I don't even know if Krispy Kreme is a publicly traded stock, but I do remember when it IPO'd. I do remember when it was a high-flying stock. I do remember being completely confused how a donut store could be a outperforming stock and one of the hot stocks of the day, but there was a period of time where Krispy Kreme was going through the roofs in terms of stock price, in terms of shareholder value, in terms of market cap, and none of that ever made any sense to me because they make donuts, for crying out loud. Which is not to say that you can't have a profitable donut making business, but the valuation of the stock at the time for me didn't make any sense, and when things don't make sense to me, I do not invest in them. I only invest in things that I fully understand and am willing and able and prepared to speculate on. But different story for a different day. We're not talking about speculation. We're not talking about financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. I am not an analyst. I am not an economist. I am not lots of things. But I am a real estate professional. And I was a stockbroker for damn near 20 years. All of this is leading to this morning. So I'm the only person in the store. It is staffed. It is overstaffed for me being the only customer. But the place was clean, it was neat, it was organized, it looked like the Virgin Mary herself would have felt comfortable eating off the floor if, God forbid, a donut fell on the floor. And I noticed these things, so I was impressed by how clean the store was. I was impressed, actually I was thankful that there was no line, because on the weekends, every time I've ever gone in there, it's slammed and you gotta wait a long time. I don't like waiting. I don't have patience. I want what I want yesterday. And this morning, no line, no rush, no anything. And I walked up. I'm in a great mood, right? I had a great vacation with my family. And despite the fact that I am recovering from a cold and still hacking up lung butter, which if you ever see a lung butter flavored donut, do not eat it. That will be disgusting, and hopefully they never come up with that as being a as being a flavor choice. Oh my gosh, the dad jokes won't stop. There's a mermaid over there. I don't know if you can see it in the background. So where am I at with this? Yeah, so I walk in. It's 7:30 or so when I walked in there. Place is empty. It's staffed fully, and whoa, that's bright. Let's see if I can change that color. Well, all I can tell you is my face is not normally this bright. This is just the sun doing its thing. Either that or I'm turning into an Oompa Loompa and about to have a cardiac event. But hopefully none of those things are true, and I'm just fine. And it's the light. But I'm headed back. I was there by myself. All excited. Looking forward to getting the donuts and the hot, fresh donuts, because if you have not had a hot, fresh Krispy Kreme donut, you have not had a real donut, in my opinion. A cold donut, no bueno. A fresh, hot donut, which is crispy and gooey and delicious and melts in your mouth, it is a game-changing, almost orgasmic experience, an orgasmic culinary experience. And anyway, so I'm all fired up, right? I'm in a great mood, and I typically am, and I'm typically friendly, and I typically engage everyone in some friendly social banter. I try to create rapport with everyone. It's just who I am and what I do. But I got there, and the staff, which again, there were 6 of them, completely ignored me. And I thought that was interesting, because when I grew up, the way I was raised, and certainly in my sales career, I have always operated from the principle of the customer is always right, and speed is critical to every single real estate and or business and or, I don't know, any function that I do. I want to operate as quickly and efficiently as humanly possible. Speed to leads, speed to execution, speed to results. I don't want to be slow. I want to be fast, and as fast as I can possibly be without being, inefficient, or, jeopardizing service or value or any of those things, right? So speed is critical to everything. And when I walk into a place that's empty that has 6 employees and everybody's standing there with their thumb up their ass, not really, unless they're making a new donut flavor, but they're all standing there zoned out, actually they seem to be working. I just don't know what they were working on or what they were doing. But when I walked in, the doorbell rang or the door chime rang or whatever. I made eye contact with everybody. I waved to one of them. When I walked up to the counter, I said good morning and was ignored by the person who was supposed to be working the register and greeting me. And I didn't take any offense to that, but I noticed it. And then in my mind, I started playing the how long is it going to take them to acknowledge that I'm here game. And well, I didn't time it. I suspect it was something close to 5 minutes. And I watched the woman who was supposed to be greeting me and supposed to be taking my order ignore me, willfully ignore me. You could say, Chris, how do you know she was willfully ignoring you? Well, that's a great question. It's because I waved at her, made eye contact, and said, hey, good morning, how are you? And then she looked down and continued putting sprinkles on the donuts that she was working on. But again, it wasn't like this was a max capacity assembly line of donuts. There were like 2 or 3. Whatever, I don't care. Maybe she was finishing her job. I don't think that was the right choice. I thought my expectation for customer service is that I would be greeted immediately, especially since I'm the only one there. And she didn't have to stop what she was doing. She could have just looked up and been friendly and said, hi, good morning, I'm doing great. I'll be with you in a second. But none of that happened. So when that happened, I now realized, well, this is interesting because she didn't really acknowledge me. I'm now going to play the kill her with kindness game and see if I can mess with her by being overly nice. And so these are the things I do to entertain myself. Anyhow, when she was damn well good and ready, she turned around and she asked, actually, she didn't ask anything. Now that I think about it, she did not ask me what I wanted. She just went, which I get, perhaps that's the new lingo, or maybe that is the new generation's way of asking, how may I help you, or may I take your order, or what would you like, or good morning, or God knows what it means. But anyway, I deduced that she was asking for my order, and I said, again, to tweak her a little bit, hey, good morning, how are you doing today? Which was again ignored. To my great pleasure and humor, because internally I was chuckling and now I'm telling you about it. So I hope you enjoy the story. And yes, my COVID is starting to get better. And no, it's not really COVID, it's a cold. I've got a cold vid. But I'm improving, and I'm sure this coffee and these donuts will help with everything but my diabetes and weight. But I guess it's staying on track. I get the universal sign, or the new universal sign for how can I help you? And I said, may I please have a dozen donuts? And she then went to selecting my donuts for me. But not in a warm, friendly way, in a cold, distant, detached, kind of annoyed, distracted way. And I would understand that more if there was a massive line and there was some sort of pressure. But when I'm the only person in the store and I'm going out of my way to be friendly, I just don't understand that. But that's okay. There are lots of things that I don't understand. So she prepares my donuts, puts them in the box, and I watched to ensure I actually got the hot, fresh donuts, which I did, so hallelujah. But when she brought them up to the register and was starting to ring me up, without asking if I'd like anything else, I then asked, may I also please have a coffee? To which she reluctantly turned around, made the coffee. Okay, well, we're on track. I'm getting what I want, and she's having a bad day, which is okay. You know, who knows? Maybe Nobody knows what anybody else is going through or dealing with, but perhaps she was just having a bad day. And I can be gracious and kind around that, despite the fact that her job is to be a friendly service representative for Krispy Kreme. It's all good. I'm not that big of a baby. So she gets my coffee. She has already gotten my donuts. And when it came time to pay, I then realized how inefficient this system is, because none of the registers that were in front of me worked. Well, none of the card readers worked. So the register, their method of getting the money, and my method of paying for it, using a debit or a credit card or any other method than cash, was inoperable. So I again noted to myself, that's interesting. The staff is not really well trained, and the technology platform they use to hopefully expedite and make the process efficient and fast also isn't working. I'm glad I'm the only one here. But again, I make a joke about it because she has to walk to the back, to the drive-through area, in order for her to be able to use the cash machine or the cash register. And I have to give her my phone in order for her to use Apple Pay. So she had to walk extra steps. She did not seem appreciative of these extra steps. I would have thought to myself, man, I'm getting extra steps in. But I'm a weirdo, and she did not seem to. She was not as grateful for the opportunity that I had created for her to get in some extra steps. But again, all good. I'm in a great mood. We're going home. Family had a great time. Win, 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 win across the board. And I'm starting to feel better. Which is a long way of getting to the finale, which is, as she's walking back and forth, I say, you know, I think they're trying to get you to run a little bit of a marathon here, and so I'm glad there's not more people, because I feel like you might be running all day. And finally, I cracked the ice. Her icy demeanor, her disconnected demeanor, it melted like the Krispy Kreme donuts do in your mouth. And she cracked a smile, and I got into rapport, and I had a nice moment with the cashier, who may have been having a bad day, may be suffering from all of the economic conditions and financial pain and inflation that I talk about often. Maybe she's out there trying to buy a home and can't afford one now that interest rates are on their way to 10%. There's a million bad things that could be going on in her life, but I cracked it, and I got her to smile, and eventually, believe it or not, I got her to say, have a good day. And I thanked her for her service. Well, not for, I thanked her, not for her service. If I ever use thank you for your service, I'm talking to someone in the military or the police or a first responder or something like that, which technically she may have been a first responder, because I think I was the first one in the store today, but you get what I'm going here. You get what I'm trying to say here, I hope. I said thank you and went about my business. And then I decided to make this video on the way back to where I'm staying, because the golden nugget here is, it doesn't matter if you're in sales, it doesn't matter what business you're in. In fact, it doesn't even matter if you're in business. Here's a pro tip. Be friendly. Smile. And not everybody talks about that anymore. But the easiest way to make $1 million impression with anyone is to be friendly, be interested in them, ask them some questions, get into rapport, and smile. Because a winning attitude, a optimistic, happy attitude, a positive attitude is going to take you much further than the opposite of that. And it doesn't take any advanced education degree to have a good attitude, to be positive and friendly, to smile. You can do all of those things right now today. Make the decision to make that mindset shift or change, and your life will improve. My life will improve. The world will improve, because I can't change the world, but I can change my world, and I can hopefully plant a seed of optimism in someone else's world. And if everybody does that, then I suspect the world will be a better place. And who doesn't want to live in a kinder, happier, more optimistic world, especially in the times of volatility and uncertainty that we are entering into. Now, I love you. Have a great day. I hope I planted a seed of optimism in your life. And if there's ever anything I can do to help serve or support you, please reach out, because we would love to help. Please check out my next video, because I suspect you'll love it a lot. Follow me on Twitter, where I can never be centered. Centered? I can never be censored. I can never be centered. Dear God, man. The brain fog, please lift. Where I can never be censored. And follow me on Patreon, where I go off. And until next time, peace.